Happy Wednesday, Broncos country. Welcome back to another episode of, well, let's talk Broncos, but we'll be talking about other teams around the league because the Broncos are out of playoff contention, and that means that Broncos country needs another team to root for. We're going to tell you exactly who we're picking. I'm Bree Maestas here with Zach Seegers and Joey Richards. Guys, how are you?
I'm doing really good. This one is interesting because it's rare we get to talk about other teams, and we're going to get further into that. But I'm excited to do it because I like watching individual players. That's kind of my thing. I love studying different players and what makes them good. And there's a lot of good players that aren't on the Broncos, so I'm excited to get my chance to talk about them as well. Zach, how are you doing, man?
Doing well, yeah. Excited to kind of talk about some fun teams, little one-off episode, looking for stuff to talk about today. And why not talk about the teams that are still in it now that the Broncos have officially been eliminated with their loss to the Chiefs?
Yeah, I think let's hop straight into it. And we're going to start off with Joey's pick. Joey's gone with the Lions. Joey, do you want to tell us why?
The Detroit Lions. I think that there's some things that the Broncos could learn from the Lions, and that's why I picked them. I'll first start off with why they're exciting. I believe they are one game behind 500 right now, but they're still very much in playoff contention, and they're rolling right now. They just beat the Vikings this last week. That offense looks amazing. The offensive coordinator, I have to look this up. It's Ben Johnson, I believe. It's their offensive coordinator, and what they are able to do with Jared Goff at quarterback is insane. They've been putting up points since week 1 this year, like a lot of points across the board. When you look at rushing analytics, passing analytics, everything, they're a high-powered offensive football team. All with Jared Goff at quarterback, like I said. In the little graphic, Zach Seegers, shout out to Zach Seegers, made for us. You see Amon-Ra St. Brown there. That has quickly become one of my favorite football players in the NFL. Works best out of the slot. Isn't physically elite at anything, but boy, can he get open. And he catches a lot of footballs down there in Detroit. The run game is spectacular. The run concepts are spectacular. They have, I think, 3 first-round picks across their offensive line. They might probably do have the best offensive line in the NFL right now, for my money. It's just a really, really exciting team. Now I will say the defense needs some work. But, guys, this is a football team that he has the Rams first-round pick next year, part of that Matthew Stafford trade. I believe they're picking 3rd right now. I could be wrong. They're definitely picking in the top 5. But they are going to get a really, really good football player, making this team even more exciting. I am rooting for the Lions the rest this year. Doesn't hurt their draft spot, obviously, with the Rams pick. I don't know, just like a young, up-and-coming, exciting football team that I think teams can jump on the bandwagon now, and then the benefits will pay off later. What do you guys make about the Lions?
I love it. I almost went with the Lions. I think they're a fantastic pick. I kind of want to hear Bree's thoughts because I know she was disgusted by the thought of rooting for the Lions pre-show. But I'm with you. They're a fun offensive team. Dan Campbell's a really easy story to get behind. I'm all for that. Offensive football, if you're a Broncos fan that has just been so desperate for good offense, they're maybe the best choice out there. You're not hopping on a bandwagon, which I really like. I do think the big knock is one, the quarterback play I don't think is great. I think it's good.
Wrong.
He's serviceable, but it's the system around him. And I think the other problem is right now, according to 538, the Lions only have a 20% chance of making the Super Bowl, or not Super Bowl, the playoffs. So you might be going with too much of a dark horse. You might be having to pick a new team to root for yet again in just a few weeks here.
I think that's why it was shocking to me. They have the same record as the team I went with, though. So I think you're poo-pooing on both of them here. And the NFC, the Lions are, ranked 9th. So it's just an interesting choice to me. I wasn't mad about it. I just went the Lions. And so it's an interesting choice, but I think you make some really great points there. It would be quite a story as they have been picked on for far too long.
Exactly. I mean, Zach brings up a good point about the quarterback play, right? Jared Goff's not all that, but it hasn't hurt the offense. That's how good the rest of this unit is. The rest of that offensive, it's an really good offensive team, not just oh yeah, the Lions offense is scoring. This is a really good offensive team with Jared Goff at quarterback. It's impressive. Credit all around. And then I didn't even mention Jamison Williams is back. The JMO from Alabama wide receiver, their first round pick, speed. He scored his first touchdown this last game, just in his second game back. Man, I don't know. How can you root against the Lions is my take. I say, and now this is becoming a debate for me. We're going to put a poll out. I say that you hop on the bandwagon now because, like I said earlier, this is a team that beat the Vikings last week. We're rolling now in Lions country. So hop on the bandwagon now, and you'll look like a genius later. That's why the Lions are going to be the best pick today.
I think it's strong. It'll be interesting to see how far into the playoffs they go.
But they might not even make the playoffs. That would be my biggest knock against the Lions. I'm really rooting for them. I actually almost picked them for this exercise. They'd be one of my top few teams. But the big knock against them for me is I don't know. They could be eliminated 2 weeks from now, and now you're having to pick another new team.
Based off that comment, I can already tell Zach is going to be hopping on a bandwagon of some sort. Excited to see where he goes with it, but I think the team's just narrowed
from the pre-show meeting. I don't this theater from Joey trying to sway.
I'm planting the seeds, bro. I'm planting the seeds. Zach is hopping on a bandwagon right now, and we'll get to that soon. But see, you have to give me some credit for going out there, and I think everybody should. You shouldn't go with the safe pick.
The Lions are one of my
going with the safe pick. We like rooting for the underdog story over here.
I like greatness. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
sure. Bree literally just said her team has the same record as mine. Rewind the episode.
And the fact that it's even the same record is a miracle because they're considerably worse.
Well, should we do mine or yours first, Zach? I'll let you choose.
Ooh. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Okay.
I need to defend myself against Joey's slander.
Welcome everybody to the new rendition of this podcast because it's Let's Talk Bills now. Zach, tell us.
Number one reason, don't have to change the anagram, right? Or not the acronym. Don't have to change the acronym. And it's sound better than LTL. LTL, I don't know, does not ring off the tongue. LTL also isn't, like the name of a sandwich all scrambled around. That's a downside. But mainly, I just think the Bills, one, let's start with the Von Miller factor. No, he is not going to be on the field. This is some Skip Bayless bullshit that he's pulling off to the side here. Let's start with the Von Miller factor first. Of course, Broncos legend. I think anyone under the age of 30, he has to be your favorite all-time Bronco. Just what an absolute GOAT. Sucks that he's not with the team anymore. Sucks that he's not playing anymore. But he has the chance to become the first player to win a Super Bowl with 3 different organizations this year. He will earn his ring even if he's not playing in the playoffs because he carried that defense for the first half of the season. He was a superstar. And all those sentimental aspects. 2, the Buffalo Bills might be the greatest fans in the NFL. Their fan base, it is up there. They're in the conversation for greatest fan base. I think Broncos country is in that convo. Packers probably in that convo. I'm trying to think who else is up there. But I know the Bills are. I know the Bills are 100% in that combo. They've been around for as long as the Broncos, and they have never won a Super Bowl. Those fans have never gotten to really taste glory. They've gotten their hearts broken time and time and time again for painful Super Bowl losses in a row, all of them painful in different ways. You had narrow heartbreakers and embarrassing blowouts. And then you have the longest playoff drought in NFL history. The longest at the time, it was the longest playoff drought in American sports. They've been through the pain. They've done their time. Now they've built it up the right way with stars you can get behind, like Josh Allen. By the way, Jared Goff's lacking in the quarterbacking department. Breeze Pick is lacking in the quarterbacking department at this point. You want one of these superstar, one of these superstar awesome quarterbacks, and to enjoy them, you can enjoy Patrick Mahomes, you can enjoy Justin Herbert, you can enjoy Josh Allen. That's the choice for you. And also, if the Bills do win it all, it's just that you can go from this long, ridiculous playoff drought to the ultimate prize, and that would be a nice play as the Broncos country.
I love it, Zach, because last year I was rooting for the Bills for the most part as well, because the Broncos were stuck in this position. The Bills are an exciting team. Seeing what Josh Allen is able to do, hopefully that injection into his elbow proves positive for his play for the rest of the season. Von Miller obviously getting another ring, although injured as well. What a story. But they did everything possible to start out as a really strong contender, which you can say a lot of other teams in the NFL did not. Is it going to be enough to carry them all the way to the Super Bowl? I hope so, because I enjoy cheering for that team. I've never met a Bills fan where I left a little frustrated or annoyed. They're humble. They're fun. I want to jump through a table. I say we light one on fire and do so commemoratively if they go to the Super Bowl this year. I'm on board on that one for sure.
I am not on board. I personally think, I feel like it's a little bandwagony. I think my Lions pick was not. I think this one's a little bandwagony.
It's not because they're a favorite. It's not because they're a favorite. It's because of Von Miller. It's because no one deserves it more than them. That's why.
Why does no one deserve it more than them?
Because
I think
those fans have given it their all. They've gone and sat at all those home games in Western New York.
Wrong conversation to get in with me. I picked the Detroit Lions. Wrong conversation to get into with me.
They're in a dome.
Very, very wrong choice to get into with me. I mean, there's Ford family is curse rumors out there with the Lions.
Last year, the Lions weren't on the doorstep of the Super Bowl last year with 13 seconds left. The Bills are so deserving. That fan base has had recent heartbreak, ancient heartbreak. They were. Or I guess it was the doorstep of the AFC Championship.
The Lions is last year?
No, I'm saying they weren't. The Lions weren't. The Bills were. They were in that position.
Yeah, because the Lions are always picking in the top 5 every single year.
Absolutely.
That's why they're a better story. That's why they're a better story.
They could win it in 2023. They could win it in 2024. The Bills have done their time. They're ready to win it now. They're the most deserving team.
I'm not a big fan of cheering for teams just because they've had a hard time in the past. I'm all about because honestly, the Browns hope they never win a thing again, too, by the way.
I jumped off that bandwagon pretty hard.
No, totally. I get it. I just you've had a long struggling, get better, do better.
Everybody likes, here's the issue with your philosophy. Everybody likes an underdog story. Everybody does. When Baker came into that game with the Rams last week, was that not exciting? Were the people really not excited for that? If the Lions came in after having
root for
a
the
top
Lions,
5 pick and made a little, even a little bit of a playoff push, if they made the playoffs, it would be like, oh, Detroit Lions football, we're rolling. The Bills favorites. They were I think they were favorites to come out of the AFC.
It was a good story last year, and now it's a better story because they're still going for it. It wasn't like a mistake. Josh Allen wasn't a fluke. I think it's still really impressive.
The Josh Allen redemption story, another reason to root for it.
Do people not like Josh Allen or something?
No, just because
he wasn't showing top tier quarterbacking, and now he's gone against every single trend. He's used as the outlier, and now it's showing that he has consistency in his game. I think that's exciting.
He ruined quarterback evaluation forever. That's one thing I do have to throw out there. You nailed it. He's an outlier. Everybody wants to compare somebody to Josh Allen.
If the Lions are Baker Mayfield, the Bills or Josh Allen? And which of those two options is more fun? The little flash in the pan that most of the time is, not a
Josh
fun
Allen
watch,
never won a
or
Heisman.
I do like flashy. I'm gonna say I really do enjoy flashy. Like I want to. I see the good things about rooting for a team that like sometimes you're like this isn't the same team. So I like the flashy Baker Mayfield of NFL teams.
Totally.
But I also do want Josh Allen to
I mean, I'm not rooting against the Bills. It's just like very neutral, It's like
well,
it's
Joey.
cool.
So let's talk Bills podcast now. I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna have to change it.
Well, Bree, with your option, we wouldn't have to change the acronym either.
It's funny that you say that because I think it comes to no surprise to anybody watching that I think you should root for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes.
Tom Brady currently sits at a 6-7 record. It's shocking. It's absolutely out of character. And obviously, the quarterback is 45 years old. Zach and I talked about it on the Fan Cave this Monday. Perhaps he should have ridden off into the sunset last year, although he was completely robbed of an MVP award. I think he had to come back and see if he had anything left because they gave it to Aaron Rodgers, who. Sorry, not the same quarterback, not the same talent, not the same ability to recover. Tom Brady has never had a losing season as a quarterback of the team that he's on. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that it's going to end in a way that changes that. I know there's a first time for everything, but I think they're able to make a final urgent push. Tom Brady's all about that. I want to root for the Bucs. I'm a big fan of Evans, Godwin, and White. So I would just like to see that happen. It's just frustrating to me that they're in the predicament that they are. It has not turned out the way that it is. I love, though, the articles that state that Tom Brady won't be on the Buccaneers next year, not in a glance of retirement, that he'll possibly go to another team, which
Raiders.
It would be incredible. And honestly, I'm sorry, I would still hope that Tom Brady does well on the Raiders. That's just how it works. That's fanship works of your favorite player to ever play the game. So I am going for the Buccaneers because I have a personal bias.
The poll just went down drastically for you.
That's okay. I'm not about pollsters. Like I don't care if you like me or not or agree with my decisions. I want to root for Tom Brady till he's out of it. Like we already said, it's the same record as the Lions, so the probabilities are down. They are ranked a little bit higher than Detroit. You've obviously got them as fourth. So it'll be really interesting to me to see how it does. And I think it's just mostly holding out hope that it doesn't look so bad for Tom Brady if he does choose to retire. Because, that's just how I feel about it.
I feel like for how much crap I gave Zach, this one is worse. Because Tom Brady has proven, like, he's already proven what he needs to prove, right? Like, he's the best football player of all time. We can right home that. We're not going to see anything else like it, I think, in my lifetime. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to see anything like Tom Brady again. And what does another Super Bowl ring do for Tom Brady? Really nothing at this point. We're already at a point where we're not going to see anything like it. I want to see someone new. At least the Bills would do that. The Lions would be insane. The Lions would be ridiculous. I'm good on the Bucs. They won theirs. Tom Brady already had his revenge on Belichick. What else am I proving now?
I don't understand that argument, Joey. I don't understand that argument, Joey, that you don't want to see a person continue to win Super Bowl rings. You want to see somebody. So if they're the best team, which they're not right now, if they're the best quarterback, which he's not performing as right now, is that why wouldn't you want to continue to see the best player to ever do it continue to win at the highest level? Like, that seems silly to me.
Because he has nothing else to prove. He has nothing else.
But that doesn't mean he's not worthy of the world championship.
It means that I'm not going to root for him to win it. That's what it means. He might be worthy. I don't know. The Bucs could win. I'm not sure, but I'm saying that I'm not going to root for him. I don't care. He's proven enough.
Because you hate greatness.
He's proven enough.
No, it's
listen,
fine.
He's already proven how great he is.
You like mediocrity, and I hope that you're okay with that, Zach.
Literally, people won't even like people. He's already proven everything. Oh, look at me. I'm playing at a really old age. Oh, I'm the best football player of all time. There's nothing else to prove here.
Here's the problem with Bree's argument against Joey here. Joey's arguing against mediocrity. This Bucks team is mediocre. And what I think you're getting hung up on, I don't know. I kind of agree with Bree. It's good to root for greatness. Tom Brady's not a great player anymore. He's the greatest of all time. And when he retires, he'll go down in the books as that. He is like the 20th best quarterback in football. This Bucks team is the least interesting, least fun, least talented, least good team we've talked about on this show tonight. That's my argument against them winning it. Have you watched a Bucks game this year? Wasn't enjoyable relative to like the Broncos maybe, but relative to most NFL teams, I'm not feeling the Bucks pick. I respect
I watched
Brady
him
a whole
lose to
lot.
the Browns. Of course I've been watching. It was painful. It was absolutely painful, but it's Tom frickin' Brady. So yeah, let me just ride it out for a couple more days.
I respect it. I just had to fire back for the show.
They get absolutely slaughtered by the 49ers. I want to die. Like, I'm not having a good time this year. But
I'm not critiquing you. I'm telling Broncos country. And you just heard Bree yourself. If we're trying to tell people what team to root for, Bree's miserable as a Bucks fan. Don't get them hooked on your misery. Have fun.
Company.
The Broncos have been miserable enough. I don't want Broncos fans jumping out of windows. Get on the Lions bandwagon. Get on the Bills bandwagon.
Well, if you're a member of Broncos country, you're not doing. Oh, tell me about the hope. Oh,
yeah, we're young. We're like young. We're super young. We could carry this into next year. Detroit, or not, Tampa Bay's done. Finished. After
Joey,
this
I
next
thought
year.
you were a Bears fan. What do you mean we? What is this we we're talking about?
I mean, yeah, I like Justin Fields like a lot. I do like Justin Fields a lot, but I'm not like a super fan for these. Like, I'm just telling you who to root for. The Bears right now aren't the team to root for. The Lions are. The Lions are. They could be the one. Like, literally, let's break this down right now. The Lions are so young. They're so exciting. Their offensive coordinator is amazing. They're doing all of this with Jared Goff at quarterback, making it their offense feel like Jared Goff isn't at quarterback. Like, what? How could you root against the Lions? I can find reasons to root against your teams, but I can't find reasons to root against the Lions. Maybe if someone could offer one of those for me.
Ugly gray uniforms. Ugly gray uniforms.
Detroit.
Ugly.
I hope everyone's noticing that there's no reason. And I rest my case.
Just because I don't have a reason to root against the Lions doesn't mean that I have an adequate reason to root for them. Like,
but I have plenty of reasons.
You're telling me that I should settle for somebody who has a really, I don't know, decent track record? Like, I don't.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. Root for the underdog. Everyone likes an underdog story. Yeah, that's what you should be doing.
We're saying, okay, there's the 70-year-old guy with the catheter, and he doesn't really remember his stories anymore when he's trying to have a conversation and whatnot. And at one point he was the talk of the town. At one point he was Ryan Gosling. It was sweet. But now, maybe not so much. And then on the other end, you've got the young upstart, and everything's going great for him. And we're saying choose that one.
Seriously, that's what I'm doing.
And Zach, that doesn't work.
What are they now?
Because the Bills isn't it like an investment banker who's got like a really good profit margin and a bankroll. They're not the underdog.
They're lovable. Where is it's coming from a Patriots dynasty fan that comparing the Bills to an investment banker seems rich. They're not Wall Street and American Psycho. There's no detestable part of the Bills. They're so dang lovable.
You guys had Cole Beasley up until this year.
No, I hyped the Bills up last year. They were definitely my AFC team last year, mainly because I thought they were the only team that could beat the Chiefs. And I was wrong.
Cole Beasley went a little, yeah.
Oh, anyway. Cole Beasley is back. I didn't even know.
Yeah, that's the best reason to not root for the Bills. Bree just gave some good ammunition there for why not to root for the Bills. That's the best reason.
And on that note, it's time for Joey's question of the day.
Okay. I would know who your guys' favorite player is off both your guys' team. Bree, yours would be Tom Brady, the team that you're going for. Zach, I'd imagine yours would be Von Miller with the Bills. Really?
Yeah, maybe we go second.
That's what I'm going with. I'm. What is the second favorite player off your guys' team?
I'll buy Bree some time here. I'm gonna go. I think this is my answer, and I just want to make sure. Gabe Davis. I'm going Gabe Davis. He was a guy I watched a lot of in college, just watching some UCF. My stepbrother went there. And I was like, this guy's legit. Like, I remember him just eating Paulson Adebo alive, who's gone on to be a really nice NFL cornerback for the Saints. Watching that game live and just being like, Gabe Davis is the truth. And I was really high on him in that draft class, and he went to Buffalo, and I loved the fit then. And then so like seeing him have that monster 4-touchdown game against the Chiefs in a big spot. And then like in week 1, he had another 2-touchdown game. Just like, I love seeing him thrive and kind of become maybe not a super, he's definitely not a superstar. I don't even know if he's a star player, but just like a really, really good receiver as part of this fun, explosive offense. And one of the more explosive elements of that offense. Yeah, I enjoy it. Gabe Davis. It's a biased pick, but
I like Gabe Davis. Good pick. Bree, what are you going with?
I'm probably going to go Mike Evans just because he's
a fun player.
The injury hurt a lot. It obviously kind of cut into his ability to make some waves this season. He's still projected, however, for 1,000 yards, 1,025, I think 26, which would be great. I hope he hits it. Only 3 touchdowns on the season. Again, I think that injury impact that as well. But Tom Brady has needed Mike Evans to be there. Last season, it obviously looked a little bit better. This season has been it hasn't been going either's way. It's been a little frustrating to see that, but I still hold him tremendously high as they're the new 1 and 2. Obviously, if Gronkowski was still on the team, that would be my preferable second choice. But I do like Mike Evans at his play. Godwin too. It's been interesting to see them kind of play off of each other. 2 different skill sets for those wide receivers. Tom Brady seems to enjoy working with both of them. It is the weird season for veteran quarterbacks, as even if they've had their not long-standing, but their trustworthy weapons, things still aren't panning out. It's been an interesting season. And you're right, Zach, to a certain point, don't join me in my misery, but it's the only thing that I have left. So
can I make mine real quick? I'm going to go with DJ Chark because I want him to be a future Bronco. He was on a 1-year, $10 million contract in Detroit. And when you talk about Russ wide receivers, DJ Chark is a perfect Russ wide receiver. Long and lengthy, but wins on the outside, right? Elite speed. He just beat someone deep this last week. I have to watch Detroit every single week because my really good friend is a Detroit fan, and we watch football every Sunday. So I have to watch him every single morning. And DJ Chark is the exact type of guy that would make sense with Russ. So yeah, that's going to be my pick right now.
Yeah, so if he's watching the show, we'd love you in Denver. We'd be really appreciative of that. Any parting words for the LTB listeners tonight? Where can they find your stuff?
Yeah, everybody, follow me at JR Drafts. Find my writing at Mile High Sports. Listen to Frankie and I's show every single Thursday where we discuss the draft. We did a mailbag, and you guys asked some really good questions. So I'm excited to go through that and answer those for everybody. And we set it ahead of time, so I had plenty of time to study and stuff like that. I'm going to get on that tonight even more because some people are asking some very player-specific questions. And then, yeah, everybody, just make sure you're following all the Let's Talk Broncos stuff. The Let's Talk Broncos Instagram, the Let's Talk Broncos. You could join us in the Let's Talk Broncos Discord, Let's Talk Broncos Facebook, Let's Talk Broncos YouTube, all of the Let's Talk Broncos, the Let's Talk Broncos Twitter. I mean, we're literally everywhere. So make sure you follow us on every single one of those platforms, and then like and subscribe this podcast, either or, whatever platform you're on. Share. That would be cool too. Show us some love. But yeah, Zach, where can they find your work, man?
Yeah, all my stuff over at milehighsports.com, articles every single day. And then, like and subscribe, support the podcast. Rate us 5 stars on whatever you're listening to us on, Spotify or Apple. I want to get those reviews up. That really helps us grow. And yeah, just thanks for all the support during this first year of TV.
first year, but definitely not the last year. You are stuck with us, Broncos country, so you might as well join in on the fun. Subscribe, follow us, interact with us. If you don't follow all three of us on Twitter, that's super awkward. You should go over there and do so. You can find
Super
our
weird.
handles here. Yeah, like if you're only following one of us and not the
Who would
other,
do that?
that's strange. Bree Maestas 303. You can also listen to me every single Monday on the Fan Cave, 1 to 2 p.m. Mountain Time for Mile High Sports Radio. And every single day, we're here with the Let's Talk Broncos crew. We will see you again Friday and Saturday for special preview and bold prediction shows as we get closer to Sunday's game against the Cardinals. Let's go Broncos, and we'll see you later.